So guys, split of the deck for shuffling for another reading for you guys. I got the Lovers and the Moon, and this is all about following your intuition, and knowing that wherever it leads you, that, it will be a blessing and lead you to more balance and abundant relationships, right? This Lovers is about major choices in loves, perhaps a soulmate coming in, you've been put to the test. It also has to deal with kindred spirits, perfect unions and partnerships, romance and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and take a dive and see what else Spirit wants to show us. First and foremost, we got the Knight of Pentacles, and this is all about forward movement. It's all about, patience and perseverance, and that's here in this physical realm. This is a someone coming in with an offer or being offered a new job, or something like that, being reliable, or someone that is, coming in, this energy of being a reliable and trustworthy person, right? And someone that is very stable, right? So what else can we expect with this Knight of Pentacles energy? And we got the Knight of Swords. So yes, the Knight of Swords is always kind of like about being rash, coming in and making an offer, some big changes coming in or opportunities. So there's going to be a really big opportunity coming in for you, and it may be coming in, a lot faster than what you thought or realized. In the last reading, we got the Tower, and that is always kind of like preparing us for that next level, and moving forward. It usually kind of clears the path and exposes, those things that need to be exposed so that we can move forward in that abundance, right? We got the Three of Swords, which is usually all about, the broken heart, heartbreak and loneliness, but it came out in the reverse. So, this is an energy that is passing. We're no longer living in that wounded state. We are releasing that pain, and we are overcoming, those obstacles in which we had, before. And it came right out with the Five of Pentacles being reversed. And that's a lot of times about feeling like you're left out in the cold. Well, Spirit wants you to know with this new opportunity that's coming in, these new relationships, these soulships, these partnerships, these alliances, that you are not going to be living in, a place of lack much longer, right? I believe we had the Ten of Pentacles come out in the last reading. So, we're finally to a space and place where we are bringing in that abundance into the physical realm, right? Into this, creating those, tangible experiences. 311 on the timer when I looked up. Yeah. And yeah, we've got the Hierophant, the Page of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. So, with this Page of Swords and the Eight of Swords, it talks about feeling trapped, right? The Eight of Swords is, basically an illusion. It's the things that we have, told ourselves, those lies, those untruths, those half-truths, and us feeling as though, perhaps you've been trapped in a position, right? But, with this Page of Swords, it is just a really kind of a young energy, or a more immature energy. Have been some delays, maybe perhaps, come in for you, but you're realizing now, that these delays were, in divine order, right? That everything comes through, at the perfect time, and everything is, aligned divinely, right? It says, I choose which traditions I embrace and how I do it. So, with that, you've learned, from past experiences, what it is, that you align to, and what it is that you, wish to bring forth in this life, because that it has this great value to you, whether it's a religion, whether it's traditions, family, genealogy, or something like that. This is just all about taking those steps and living in that truth now, rather than surrendering to the lies and the deception, of those lower relationships, those lower timelines, right? Of frustration, guilt, despair, depression, right? So, and the more that you lean into the truth of who you are and your truth, no matter what it is, the more that you lean into that, the more that you are going to bring about fullness and abundance for yourself, right? And on the bottom of the deck is that Judgment card. I hadn't even looked at it yet, so that really just kind of clarifies and confirms, this is an awakening. You've awakened to a higher level of self, right? You've awakened to a higher level of being, right? You have awakened to, those things that have been detrimental to you in the past. And, this is helping you to push through these more challenging times, these lower vibrations that have hit you again, because you're not going to stay there and it's just temporary, right? And that you have been propelled to an abundant space and place when you rely on your truth and your intuition. So guys, I really hope this message helps. So much love, peace out, and I will see you on the flip side. Mwah.